Wolf Capital. Glad to see you all back here again, typing away in true internet warrior style in the comments section. Now, unfortunately for Wolf Capital, the title and thumbnail is not clickbait, and I'm gonna tell you why here in just a second. Because last time, people were screaming that I don't do research, so I figured, what a great idea. Let's go do some research and showcase my researching skills. As Scooby-Doo would say, ruh-roh. This didn't actually pan out that well for a lot of the other projects that I did this to, but I'm sure Wolf Capital and their founders are squeaky clean, right? No previous Ponzi's, rugs, or anything like that, yeah? Well, the first thing I want to do is hear from the founder and CEO himself, the Oklahoma Drill King legend, Trav. But in true Drew fashion, let's keep you in suspense for a few more seconds and make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Now, let's see what this good old boy has to say about his own project.
I'm Travis. I'm the owner and CEO of Wolf Capital. Kind of a brief summary of it. I work 13 hours a day with my day job as I work in the oil field. I'm a directional driller. And then in my spare time, we run Wolf Capital.
So Travis admittingly works 13 hours a day in the oil fields as a directional driller, but in his spare time, as he so eloquently put, he runs Wolf Capital. But he's making daily manual massive trades. So my question would be, if he's such a good trader and he's doing such an awesome job at manual trading, what's the point in trading time for money for 13 hours every single day out in the oil fields? But we will leave that question to be answered at a later time. Let's get into the other thing that he said about his last two projects.
This is the third one that I've started. And the last two were successful then. But just like how most DeFi projects, quick as they come up, they come down just as fast.
So, in his words, his last two projects were very successful. Unfortunately, for at least one of them, we know that that is not the case. And if you'd like me to look into the second one that he's talking about, let me know. I'll be glad to do it. And if you know anything about it, feel free to reach out to my email, info@drewwolfer.com, or just drop it in the comments sections. We appreciate you. Now, first things first, there's only 24 hours in a day, and he called Wolf Capital his spare time labor. 13 hours goes to another company that does nothing for the investors of Wolf Capital. There's only 11 hours left in every single day if you're working 13 hours elsewhere. There's 8 hours that you at least need to sleep, so that means he's got 3 hours to spend with his family, on his side gig, going to the bathroom, cooking dinner, everything else. Obviously, he's using those 3 hours to trade like an absolute boss for Wolf Capital. Now, one thing I did want to say is that he does say that he's been manually trading, or so everybody in the comments section suggests, and they also state this in the Telegram and Discord. So, let me pose a question to you. If he is such a lethal trader, then why does he have to give up 13 hours a day to an oil company trading his time for money and then only spending 3 hours on actually building, managing, and trading for Wolf Capital? When did he have time to learn to trade? Ever? Or is it all just a ruse that nobody is understanding? Again, he is the manual trader, so he says. If he was so good, you would figure he probably wouldn't need a job if he was that good. He wouldn't do it for anyone else if he was that good either, except for maybe a prop firm or someone that pays him massive commissions on his trades. But I digress. We will talk about that at a later date because I wanted to bring something to the light, which is the second clip that we saw him talking on James Pelton's channel about. So have any of you ever heard of WC miners? I'll wait. If the answer is no, then maybe you should have, because it's best to always know who you're getting into business with as well as their track record. And this is something that you're going to want to know about your good old buddy Trav. So let's meet the old scam, or as Trav likes to put it as, his previously successful project, fake miners. And I have absolutely no qualms about going on record saying that this is a scam because the business that they were saying that they were doing actually does not exist. So what was this business? Fake miners. It actually makes sense that he would be on that bandwagon back in August of 2022. And then pivot later, once that's obviously plummeted into oblivion, to a bots and AI trading bandwagon that is the newest craze. So let's dive into what this was and what happened. This protocol was literally called WC Miners, and it was supposed to be on BNB. This had the exact same team. Trav, you can actually go and check it in their Telegram. Another thing that I would like to note is if you look at their logo, it's very eerily similar. They're both just a wolf head, very simplistic, and you can tell what's going on here. It's also weird to note that WC miners is the same exact initials for Wolf Capital. Odd. Now, as you can see from the chart, there was a straight Ponzi plummet within 2 months on DApp radar where these fake miners were being tracked, and the largest in terms of transactions that they had was at a peak of about 100 transactions in a day, and then boom, within a couple of weeks, right back down to zero. Another thing that's good to note is that the DApp's domain is actually for sale, showing you that this has absolutely 100% been abandoned. And then I also want to point you to the bottom of their page where you can see that Moon Arc is their partner, just like it is on the Wolf Capital page. Weird. And look at this portion of the page and the white paper saying that they are using a lottery, doing contests. Does that sound oddly familiar about something that they might potentially be doing inside of Wolf Capital? Doesn't matter. Moving on to the next thing. Click on their audit that came from an auditing firm that literally no one has ever heard of. And in their white paper, it says that their audit actually returned an 80% security score. Okay. By the way, if you think that that's a good audit security score, you should probably revisit the drawing board because PreSend actually got a 9.9 out of 10 from hackin.io nonetheless. Just saying. But if you click on their audit, it actually doesn't exist anymore. So that makes me think that either one, it never existed, or two, the company that did it is actually embarrassed to say that they did it and they deleted it off of the site. Or three, these guys asked them to delete it off the site because they're trying to sweep this entire project under the rug. Now, if you go down and you click on their Discord link, guess where it redirects you to? Drum roll, please. Of course, Wolf Capital's Discord. Weird, I know, right? And their Telegram, it's actually still active with people that are calling it a scam, a rug, a dead project. And Travis is still actually in there. He's actually posted within the past couple of weeks. And if you want to know what this website is before they delete it, it's wcminer.com. And if they have deleted it, you can actually go to the Wayback Machine and you can pull it up and it'll show you everything that I'm talking about. Now, let's dive into the white paper. There are fees for literally everything. And this is one point that I want to make. If someone is making you pay fees to put money in, take money out, take your profits out, or any type of fee that's like that, run for the hills when they are this abundant. So there are 2% fees to just input your money into the platform. Then there are 7% fees to withdraw your money and your profits out of said platform. And spoiler alert, you cannot get your principal back from this investment. There are also 5% fees just to compound your profits in, actually profits that you lose. And then there are 12% fees if you use a referral link. Wow. Now, let's break down the business model and why this matters, and why I'm calling this an absolute scam. So we all know that there was this big fake miner craze back in the day, right? Obviously, there's still miners out there that are quoting this right now with no real revenue behind it that have proven to be scams because they are based on fraudulent claims of what is actually happening in the business, and two, straight out Ponzi schemes. Unfortunately, this one is no different. Now, the thing that I want to point out is they are saying that they are mining BNB. Okay. Let's go with the first root word. A lot of people know what mining is, but they don't actually know how mining works. You cannot mine BNB on the Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart Chain is a validation chain. There is no mining like there is with Bitcoin, with Flux, with Litecoin. It is like Ethereum and AVAX, where they are validating the transactions. It is proof of stake, not proof of work. So that's an all-out blatant lie, saying that they are mining this BNB and giving you miners that are earning you this BNB. What's really happening is you are giving them X amount of dollars, you are bringing it into their platform, and they are never going to give it back to you. That all goes into a pool. They take all the fees out. They give the dev fees, the team fees, the marketing fees, the compounding fees, all the fees to input, the fees to output your profits, all the referral fees. All of that comes out of your initial deposit. It all goes into one big pool. And guess what your initial deposit also does? Pays out the people that come in after you, that 3.5% or 8% or whatever exorbitant amount of money money they said that they could be making you every single day, your money that you bring in is what they are using to pay all of the people out that were there before you, which is why this plummeted so very quickly. Secondarily, just to beat it into the ground, there are 21 validators that actually validate the Binance Smart Chain for BNB. Now, what does that mean? The majority of those are actually Binance that own those nodes. Okay? Secondarily, those nodes only make about 10% per year. How do I know this? Because Wolfer Finance actually owns real validator nodes, not fake miners, not fake nodes. We own real validator nodes for Ethereum, FTM. We own master nodes for Flux. We own an AVAX validator node. We run that on our hardware and we validate transactions and take a portion of those transaction fees that people are paying in order to utilize that blockchain in whatever way that it is that they are utilizing it. This is actually a proven business model, and most nodes only make anywhere from 7 to 12% per year, depending on how many transactions you validate, how long you are staked for, the size of your stake and node. And this does not account for price appreciation at all. So say that I bought Ethereum at $1,200, but Ethereum actually goes up and now it's worth $4,800 per ETH. That means that the investment, the underlying assets that we have locked up in that stake have quadrupled, and we are still making the same percent on those coins. So if my coins are worth 4x, then my percentage on the capital that I put in is actually worth 4x. So let's say that ETH is making 5% a year. Now, since my coins are worth more, that 5% is actually worth 20% of the original capital that I spent on those coins. That is what Wolfer Finance does. And we will be doing mining as well, for real mining, just like we have real validator nodes. Not fake miners like BNB fake miners and the ones that they were saying they were gonna put ETH miners and AVAX miners. We just blew that entire business model to smithereens. But what Wolfer can do is actually do those things legitimately and bring in real revenue for its shareholders. And that is why Wolfer is bringing a regulated digital security on Polygon's blockchain via an ERC20 token on Acamona.com to market that is fully regulated and compliant with the SEC and all securities laws. Why are we doing this? Because we know that regulation is coming and we are going to protect our investors and not throw them into crazy schemes and business models like this. And we are not only doing that for Wolfer Finance, who already has a proven track record and over a year's worth of proof of concept running and maintaining all of these validator nodes, but we are also doing it for PreSend, which is a company that Wolfer Finance consequently owns 10% in, that is a revolutionary wallet transaction security software with a pending patent that stops people from losing money on cross-chain transactions. Say you send USDC from Polygon wallet to an Ethereum wallet. You potentially just lost your money. Or if you send BNB from your wallet to Coinbase Exchange, you definitely just lost your money. PreSend stops that from happening, and we're looking to license it out to the largest players in the game, the Operas, the Braves, the Trust Wallets, the Ledgers, the Coinbases, the MetaMasks of the world. So if you want to actually invest in revolutionary companies that have real business models, that have real technology, that have real revenue generation methods backing them, then look no further than those two, and they will be coming out on Acamona.com's platform in the coming weeks. All of this to say, you can clearly tell when things are too good to be true. If you read between the lines and you understand true blockchain, true infrastructure, what mining actually is, what noding actually is, then you would have been able to spot this scam from a mile away. Because let's be honest, they absolutely told a nice little fib whenever they told you that they were mining BNB. That does not exist. They also plummeted into oblivion within 2 months of actually ramping up their operations. How does that look? And secondarily, if they start businesses with this flawed of mathematics, economics, and on that type of I'm gonna pull the wool over your eyes foot, what makes me think, or you, that the next one is going to be any different? So pay attention for the next video that's coming out on Wolf Capital, because we are going to be diving into all of the questions that everyone had, all of the qualms that everyone had, and we are going to do a deep dive into the entire business model and all of the claims that they are making, since the last one didn't seem to be enough for everybody. So with that being said, make sure you show up to the next video, and if you like content like this, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.